All right. We're diving into one of the most well-known stories ever, David and Goliath.
A classic.
Definitely a classic. And, we all know the basics. The underdog shepherd takes on this giant warrior. But, and I think this is why a lot of you requested this deep dive, it's about the faith aspect. It's about seeing God's power in this story.
Yeah.
So we're going deeper than just the surface level.
Absolutely. We're going to find those nuggets of wisdom, see how faith actually played a role in how David won.
Exactly.
The story just keeps resonating, and I think it's because it speaks to something we all deal with. What happens when you feel like you're facing impossible odds?
Okay, so let's set the scene here. We've got David. This young shepherd probably hasn't even started shaving yet.
Right.
He's out there tending his sheep.
Doing his thing.
His dad says, hey, I need you to go to the front lines, bring your brother some food. They're out there with the Israelite army.
Classic errand. Little does he know.
Yeah, little does he know he's about to run into Goliath. Just picture it. Yeah. This massive Philistine champion. This guy's decked out in full battle armor.
The most intimidating guy you've ever seen.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's terrified. And we're talking seasoned soldiers here, right?
Yeah, they're shaking in their boots.
But then comes David, this kid who probably, if he's fought anything, it's been a wild animal trying to attack his sheep. He volunteers to fight Goliath. What do you think is going through his head at that moment?
It's not just courage. And I think that's important to see. It's not like he's just being reckless. It's something deeper.
Oh, yeah.
It's this unwavering faith in God. He doesn't see it as David versus Goliath. He sees it as God versus the enemies of his people. It's really powerful.
So powerful.
And there's this verse, 1 Samuel 17.45, where David says to Goliath, "This day the Lord will deliver you into my hands." And then he goes on. He says, "For the battle is the Lord's, and he will give all of you into our hands." David is fighting in the name of the Lord.
Wow. It's like this complete mindset shift. He's not relying on himself. He's not relying on any, physical strength or even skill at that point. He's tapping into something much bigger.
It's faith. It's pure faith.
Yeah.
And that's where we really see God's power come through. David doesn't even try to use the normal armor.
He doesn't.
Doesn't even try. He takes his shepherd's sling, grabs 5 smooth stones, stuff he uses every day, right?
Yeah, totally.
And just trusts completely that God will guide him.
He's not just blindly walking into battle.
No.
He's taking the skills that God's given him and trusting God to do the rest.
100%.
I think this is such a big lesson for all of us today. We all face our own Goliaths, right?
Yeah.
Things that feel impossible. What are those for you?
Oh, yeah. Think about it.
Is it a financial thing? Is it something with your health? Is it a relationship that just feels broken?
There's always something.
Whatever it is, it feels like this giant is standing there ready to crush you.
But David's story shows us something really important. When we face those things with faith, God can work through us. He can. And he can do it in ways that we could never even imagine. It's not about not being afraid, because David must have felt some fear. It's about trusting God, even when you were scared.
Absolutely. And I love that you pointed out he used his shepherd's sling. It's not like he magically became some super soldier.
Yeah.
God worked through what David already had. And that's encouraging. You don't have to become someone totally different.
Right.
You don't have to have some crazy ability. God can use your everyday skills, your experiences, as long as you trust him.
It's amazing.
So what's the takeaway? How do we actually apply this to our lives?
I think it comes down to perspective. When you're facing that Goliath, whatever it is, your personal struggles, something at work, maybe even something going on in the world that feels too big to fix, we need to remember we're not fighting alone.
We're not. We have access to the same power that David had.
Exactly. And that power is available through faith, through prayer, through truly seeking God's guidance.
Not just waiting for a miracle, though.
No. You got to take action. Use what you've got. But trust that God is there every step of the way.
That combo of faith and action.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so to wrap up this deep dive.
It's all about that reminder. If God is for us, who can be against us? That's the whole point of David's victory.
We hope you leave here feeling a little bit stronger, a little more encouraged to face those Goliaths in your life. The same way David faced his all those years ago.
You got this.
You got this.